Hi everyone, Sandy here. Welcome to my channel. I got this new tool from Country Craft Creations that I ordered. It's by We Are Memory Keepers. It's called the Works All-in-One Tool. So I'm excited to play with this. This is the package. I've already taken the plastic off so it doesn't glare, and I've got it tilted up a little bit so we can eliminate some glare here. It comes with this booklet. So what this tool does, it's a trimmer, scoreboard, envelope maker, tab maker, tag maker, pom-pom maker, tassel maker, bow maker, stamp tool, and banner maker. That's a lot of tools, and I'm going to play with it and show you what I do with it as I go along. Okay, so the first thing we're going to try out is the trimmer. So this is the way it comes out of the package. I've already taken all the package out and I saved the booklet in case I need it. I have a piece of white artisan cardstock from Country Craft Creations and a piece of my colors in the banana pepper that I'm going to start playing with first. So the first thing I'm going to do is use the trimmer to cut some card bases, and then I'm going to use the scoreboard part to score those card bases. So with the trimmer, I have the blade in here. You do need, and you'll notice that this catches, this has a kind of a little latch. It locks down a little bit. So you either have to use your thumb here or up here to pull up. I would not pull it here in the middle, though you can. I'd be afraid I'd break it. Okay, so I'm going to do it down here where your latch is. I do like to cut with my numbers at the top. You will notice that if you're cutting a 12 by 12 piece of paper, you're like, wait a minute, it only goes to 7 5/8. Well, that's okay, because this is designed, it does have an arm. So if you pull this out, right there, just pull it out, lock it in place. What I do like is the numbers are nice and easy to read. It goes all the way to 14. Here at the split where it opens up the arm, you don't have any guessing going on. Some trimmers, you don't know where your 6.5 or whatever number is at that join, so you're kind of guessing on that. The only drawback is this one does not have a 1/16 of an inch. It does have your quarter and quarter, 3/4, half inch. It has 3/8. It has your eighths, 7/8. So all that's clearly marked. It just doesn't have a 1/16. So you would have to plan that on that part. So when you're cutting, you lift this up. You want to make sure this blue piece is down. You flip it for scoring, but you leave it down for the cutting. So you take your paper, and I'm going to make A2 cards. So to make a card base, I'm going to cut this down to 11 inches. So I have this opened up. So you flip this back, put it in at 11. I like my numbers at the top, as I said, when I'm cutting. This is just the way I've always cut. So it does give a good cut there. Then I turn this, and I'm going to make 2 card bases. So I want these down to 4 1/4. Line that up, cut, and do one more. 4 1/4. So this gives the A2 card size. Okay. Now then, we're ready to do the scoring on these. So to do that, you open this back. Now I'm going to move my blade up to the top so that when I open it back, it's not down here where I could put my hand on it or, poke myself with it and get cut, because it is sharp. You're going to lift this up and we need to turn it over so that this ridge here gives you the stopper for your scoring here. It's real important. Then your little score tool is down here in the bottom. It's a really nice feeling bone folder. And then this goes in here at the top. So this pushes right here, so you don't have to worry about the measurements or anything. And I'm going to score at 5.5. Now, with a big scoreboard, like if you're doing a project and you wanted to score a 1/2 inch and you wanted to score it a 1/2 inch down on this end, obviously you can't do that, and you do have to flip your paper around. So that would be in something to adjust to if you're using this for a album project. So 5.5 right here. So that does score good. And in here is your 5.5 again. And then, of course, I just fold this in half and burnish with the bone folder. And that gives me my card base, which I'll be doing in another project, design team project for Country Craft Creations. So set those aside. I have my card base. So that's the scoring feature of this tool. And then the next thing I'm going to do is the envelope, to make an envelope. Okay, so now let's try to make an envelope. I made this one here for an A2 card, so I'm going to make another one and show you how I did it. My advice, if you get this tool, read the instructions, because first couple of times I made an envelope, I messed them up. So what I'm going to do first, I have an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, and I'll first cut it down. We need to first take our guide out. So here at the top, you're going to pull out this little guide thing. I just put my fingers under it and slide it up. And here it is. It has your envelope chart, the different sizes, and a banner chart. So what you do is you're going to put this up here, but first find your card size. So I'm looking for the 4.5 by 5.5 because they don't do a 4 1/4. So the paper size is 7 7/8 by 7 7/8. So let's trim that down first. I'm going to open this up to get the 7 7/8 by 7 7/8. Okay, so we have that cut. You can leave this open. Just make sure your blade's at the top so you don't hurt yourself. And I'm going to go ahead and put this in. So you line up the envelope, the little triangle. It has some magnets on it, so it's going to hold it in place. You match it up, the notch, with the envelope up here. Okay. Now we're going to take our scoring tool, our bone folder, and we're going to look on the chart. And for this envelope, it says the alignment guide is 3 5/8. And your alignment guide is this measurement here. So put one side at the 3 5/8, just like that. So I'll lay this here, the tip of it, at 3 5/8. Then you're going to score at 2 inches, which is right up against this guide. So score at 2 inches. This is where I was messing up. Take your score line, and now we match it to the score guide. So line that up there, and then score again at 2 inches along the edge. Line up at the score guideline right there. Score. Turn it again. Line it up. And score at the 2 inch mark. So now we have all 4 score lines, and you'll see that you have a little triangle here at each one. Can you see those right there? Now then, we're going to pull this down. Here it says envelope punch. So you're going to put the little triangle here. You're going to match the score line on the top with this little notch here. Can you see this little plastic notch there? And then you're going to punch, and that puts that notch right there. So you line up the score line, the one that goes this way, to the angle of that little notch, that little marker, and punch. So you do that on all 4. And this is where I was messing up off camera when I was practicing, trying to make sure I was doing it right. Now we have all those notched out. Then you, if you want the rounded corner that doesn't round very much, it's a corner rounder right here on the right side. So you put the ends in and just punch. It just does a little notch. I might prefer to use a regular corner rounder. I don't know. But hey, it's handy and you can do it. It's just a tiny little corner rounder. Just make sure you push it in all the way. Okay, so now we've got that. All we have to do is fold up our score lines. Just like that, and you have quickly made, when you do it right, and an envelope. And of course, I would just glue these 2 sections here closed, and there we have it. Okay, so that's how to use the envelope punch on this all-in-one tool. So next we'll probably try a tag. So we'll do that next. Let's check out the tag option on this tool. So you use the same template here. See, it says banner, envelope, and tag. So you take the tag one, and I've already cut mine down to 3 inches by, I think it was 6. Yeah, 3 by 6. So where it says tag, you've got your little black arrow there. You line up into the groove that says tag, which is the 1/4 inch right there. So we've got that in there. Push that in nice and neat. And then you have your trimmer option here. And we're going to take this tag, and it's this piece of paper. It's 3 inches wide, so it's a 3-inch tag. We're going to put this in where we want to cut the angles. So I'm going to put it at, I'm going to put it at 1/2 inch and see how that does. So you put the corner of your piece of paper where you want the angle cut at whatever angle you want. So I want it at 1/2 inch. So I'm going to close this down, and it cuts that much off. Okay. Then you take it and you flip it completely around. Now, because this is cut away, you have to really look at it and make sure that you're lining this up. Make sure you've lined it up here. And you want to make sure this line here is lined up with the 1/2 inch groove. So right here. So yeah, it's lined up. Then you lay this down, and you're going to cut again. So it should have cut the same size. And it did. So now we have it like that. Then you're going to want to punch a hole. So you have a hole punch. I think it's right here in the center. So you put this in, and you line this up, the edge here at 3. You could do this before you cut your angles. So make sure it goes in straight. So it's at 3 on each side, 3 right here. And you punch your hole for your tag. And then if you want to round your little corners, well, you can go down here to your little corner rounder and just round those. So now with this tool, we have made a tag for our album or something. So that's pretty cool. I like that. So let's decide on the next feature we want to play with. Tabs. I think I'm going to want to look at making a tab. So I'm going to pause this and take a look at that and see how, look at the instructions, see how that's done. Okay, so now let's make a tab. So I have cut a piece, just a scrap of paper. You can make your tabs on any size, like your album page or a flap or whatever. So this is 6 inches long. So I'm going to do a side one first. So this is our tab punch up here. So what you do is you put it in, there's a stopper groove there. You put it in, stop it here, and you're going to punch. Make one punch. It's a little rounded corner there. And then you flip it over, and you can choose small, medium, or large. There's little measurements, little, it says S, M, and L, little shape of a this corner rounder. And I'm going to put mine at M for medium. Put it right there. Put it in. And then you just punch. So now you have the tabbed punch. So now you have to cut this away. Now this for me gets a little, sometimes I do it way too much. But I'm going to start my blade here at the top. And you're going to lay this. This is your cutting groove right here. There's a 0. You can barely see it on the base down here. And you're going to put it over that, almost to this lip here. Okay? And then you're going to just cut with the blade. And I kind of slowly go till I feel it, because I can't quite see the line up unless I drew a pencil. And it'll stop it there. And then that is the side tab. Little nick there. I'm gonna practice at it. I'm gonna take a little practice, but it's not that hard. So on this other side, I'm going to show you how to do the center one. Now you have to calculate. There's no measurements here on centering it. This is 6 inch, so I calculated it. I needed 2 1/8 and 2 1/8 to get this size. This is 1 3/4. So it's going to depend if you're using small, medium, and large. We're going to do a medium. So like I said, there's no measurements there. So I'm going to do a pencil mark at 2 1/8 on where I want my tab to start. Okay, so you put this in. Now you're going to put your pencil mark along that groove there where the end would have been on your side one. So you just line that up and punch. Okay, so I kind of got mine off. It's okay. So I'm going to show you. Pretend it's on that line. Then you're going to flip it over so that you have the rounded here and put that at M for medium and punch. Now we have the tab in the middle, give or take. I'm going to erase that pencil mark. And then we bring it over here, and the same thing, you're going to put this over so that the bottom of it is in the cutting groove, the bottom of that notch. And I'm going to put this at the top, and I'm just going to cut until it stops. Like that. Did you hear that? And then I'm going to open this up, and I'm going to flip it over and do the same thing from the other side. Make sure it's all straight here. And stop. And there is your center tab if you're wanting that on that. So I'm going to need to practice again because, like I said, it's in there a little bit more than I would like. But that is your tab maker here on this tool. So the next thing we're going to make is a banner. Okay, so now we're ready to try and make a banner. So I'm going to take out the guide, just slide this out the top, okay, and the banners, the smallest one, to make a 3-inch banner, you cut your paper 3 by 3, and that's what I'm going to do to show you. So put it in, cut it at 3 by 3, okay, go 3 by 3 square. And then we're going to take and put that down because I almost poked myself a while ago. Look for your banner, the little arrow, and then look for your banner notch here. Now you make sure you're putting this in all the way across. Put the notch in here at the 4 where it says banner, put it all the way across. So when you do, this down here doesn't touch this over here. You want the space in here because this is the right position up here. You want it flush up here. Then you're going to take this, and on your guide it says for the 3 by 3 square, your alignment guide is 1 1/8. So we put this corner at 1 1/8 right there. Make sure it's flush in here, 1 1/8. Put your guide down and cut. So then we move this away. So we have it like that. We're going to take it, we're going to flip it. This point goes to the 1 1/8 right there. Make sure it's flush, 1 1/8. Bring this down and cut. Now make sure it's at 1 1/8. I need to move it just a little bit to cut that point down there. Okay. Now then, we need holes for our little banner, right? So this is where you come to your hole punch. And here on the hole punch, there's these guides, these angled lines. I don't know if you can see it, but right there and right there. So you take your little banner and you put the top is your short one, and you line up this side right along that angle line and punch. And then you scoot over and line up your other side, your left side, on the left line, and we have two little holes for our banners. So can you imagine if you did it in pattern paper or made the bigger one or something? So this makes you a little banner, and you could thread your ribbon through or your string. Adorable. So this is going to be really a lot of fun for your projects, you know, to make someone your album or what have you. So I'll put this back up. So this slides off. I haven't done the stamp part yet. I'm going to do that in a little bit. So this back side goes in like this. So you just slide it in. Okay. Now then, let's do a ribbon. You can make pom-poms and tassels with this. I don't have any yarn, so I'm not going to be showing you that. But we're going to do some ribbon. So I'm going to pause for just a second and grab me some seam binding ribbon. Okay, so this all-in-one tool has a bow maker for you. So right here next to your scoring tool, pull out these poles. And you can separate them because sometimes you need more than one for whatever you're making, especially the tassels, I believe. So you decide what size bow you want. I'm going to put it in. I have two between there. And I'm just going to cut off some of this ribbon. I just grabbed some scraps of ribbon here. Okay, so let me think. You put this around. Push this where you can see it. Put it around. The right one crosses over. Okay, then you hold this. You push the left tail under both sections, and then you take this and you bring the tails together, the front, loop it, pull, and tie. So that's going to give you a bow, and then you can just trim your ends. So I used a whole lot more than I probably needed. And then you slide it off, and you have a bow for your card or your album. This is the single bow. So I haven't had time to play with it. See if you could do a double. I mean, I like to do the thing with my fingers. I think that maybe you can. So that's the bow maker. And of course you can make different sizes with different ribbons. So that's pretty cool. So I've never had a bow maker. Well, I've had a bow maker and I didn't like it because I had to keep getting it out. But this is handy because it's right here with everything else that you might be doing. So I've got a lot of things here. So the next thing I want to play with is the stamp platform. I need to get some paper and a stamp that I want to try, and we'll see how that does. And then that will be the end of my demo. Now, this tool has been out for a while. I've just never paid attention to it, never saw it until Tamara with Country Craft Creations showed it in one of her lives, and I'm like, I've got to have that. I need that because it doesn't take up a lot of space here on my work table. I don't have a lot of room here, and I'm thinking that's really cool, but then it's cool because you can take it to your crops or your retreats. If you go to the live retreats that Tamara puts on, well, the Country Craft Creations, this is all you need to take. You get your scoreboard, you got your trimmer, you got all these other tools. So this is really, really awesome. So check it out, take a look at it, and just think about it and see if you think it's something that you might need or use. If you don't have some of these tools, this would be the way to go. Then you get these tools and these other items. So anyway, let me get some white paper, cardstock, pick out a stamp, and we're going to play with the stamp. I've heard some people say you have to kind of play with it to get it to work right. We're going to see how that goes. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I stamped off camera this butterfly. I absolutely love how it turned out. I'm going to show you how I did it. Hope it turns out on camera the same way. So what I used was archival ink that I got from Country Craft Creations, this little mini size in the evergreen bowl, because I just thought it was a really pretty color. And I can go in with my ink, Copic inks or my Tombow inks, and in colors like pink or something in there. I think that would be really pretty. But just for stamping purposes. So I cut this 8.5 by 11 cardstock that I have in my stash. This is Nina that I pick up for stamping images. I like it because it's not real thick and it stamps good. So you put that in there. Now, with this on the back, you have 2 magnets with these tabs. Okay, the purpose of these, to use these with your stamping platform, is when you position your paper in, this other way, I'm going to push this in like this right here, the 6-inch, pretty much like that. Okay, it's to keep your position, and the magnets are, they're not way down here. You've got to find the magnets that are going to hold it in place. It's to keep your paper in place if you have to re-ink and re-stamp because you've got some spots that didn't turn out right. So this is a graphic 45 stamp that I've had in my stash. It's a rubber stamp. I think their stamps, graphic 45 now, are acrylic. I just got in the set for Halloween, the Charmed. I haven't tried those out yet, but I wanted a butterfly. I thought the butterfly is beautiful. So this is your platform that comes with the all-in-one. And you have your magnets up here. This is what's going to catch in here at the top for your position. So I'm just going to take my butterfly and I'm just going to put it on the back side, so you have your magnets facing down that are going to catch. So just put this down, and I'm going to turn it over, and you're going to want to ink it really, really good. You want to keep putting on ink until it looks really dark. You can tell with your ink you want a juicy ink that really gets on there, and I just keep going over it, because I'm happy if it stamps and I don't have to do it twice. But with this position thing, if you mess up, you don't press it down good, don't get enough ink on it or what have you, you can redo it. So now you're going to take this platform, you can flip it over, and you're going to let the magnets catch, and you're going to drop it down. So a while ago, I stamped it without having these bigger magnets on here, and I think it'll work anyway. So you press straight down. Now, I made sure, see how this one, I'm pressing on here because it's in a rubber one, it's going to stand up higher, but I went ahead and pressed down here and up here to make sure that I've got an even pressing. And I know there's a tool that you can get and use it. I'm sorry about the glare on this acrylic because you can't really see what I'm doing. Let me see. I'll grab my ruler and reach up and maybe turn the glare off. That's a little better. You're still getting light from my window. But anyway, you press it down and then lift up. And see, that's a pretty good image. But to be safe, I'm going to add a little more. So I just ink it, maybe not as much as I did last time, but still get a good amount of ink on there. I'm going to make sure I don't miss any spots. And I want to show you that with this platform, you can re-ink as long as you've got your paper held in place. So you place these on and we press it down. Get a good press on there and then lift up, and voila. So we have a butterfly image stamped that is gorgeous, ready. Fussy cut out or cut out these a rectangle around it for a card. So it's going to be really pretty. Okay, so that is me trying out the different elements of the all-in-one tool, the Works by We Are Memory Keepers. It's available at Country Craft Creations now. Check it out online. If you think it's something you might want, it's got a lot of good features. I didn't remember the tassel and the pom-pom, because I don't have any yarn, but those are really easy to do. And of course, it comes with the instruction booklet that you want to keep that tells you step by step how to do things. So this is really important to keep. And then you can also go online. It gives you the website for little quick videos that by We Are Memory Keepers that shows you how to use it. So anyway, thanks so much for following along. I'm hoping you're having a great time and enjoying the weekend, the 4th of July weekend, getting some crafting done. If it's hot where you're at and you're staying inside, or if you're going outside to the lake, be safe. Have a great 4th of July. They have banned fireworks, individual fireworks here where we are in Texas because we've had fires and it's just too dry. We haven't had enough rain, but there's still fireworks shows being put on by the cities that are done by professionals that are over, some of them over the lake, and so they're a lot safer. But they have put a ban on personal use of any kind of fireworks that has smoke or sparks, and trying to prevent a lot of fires and keep our firefighters from having to go out and fight those fires. So everybody have a very safe 4th of July weekend. Happy birthday to the United States, and stay safe and have a great day. And remember to shop countrycraftcreations.com. Check out this new tool that she has in her shop. It's not new. It's been out there for a while, a few years, but check it out. It's new to Country Craft Creations. And subscribe to my channel and click like if you like this video and see more, and click the bell so that you can get notifications of my next video. Thanks everybody. Bye-bye.